Okay, let's play the London. We haven't done that yet today. Oh my goodness. Okay. The Englund Gambit. Wow, what an opening. I love seeing this opening even at my level. As I was saying in the previous game, pawn tension in the center at this level, just get rid of it. It's more trouble than it's worth to keep it around. As you get better and you learn more openings, you'll learn the times where you keep the pawn tension and when you don't. But when you don't know openings that well at the level of, 336, just take the pawn. Make it easy on yourself. Okay, so there's theory here that you have to know so that black doesn't get a good position, but this opening is objectively bad for black. But we just continue development, hold on to the pawn. If they know anything, they'll go here, and okay, they don't. I actually don't know what to do now either, to be frank. But we can just follow opening fundamentals and we should figure it out. We could go here. This allows them to develop at the cost of a pawn. We can also go here. And if they take, we can capture, with the knight. So a lot of times in a gambit, you don't want to take the second pawn just as a general rule because it's what your opponent wants and you don't want to give them what they want. I'm actually pretty happy to just take. I think at this level, being up a pawn can be a difference maker, and then I can develop like usual. The only concern, I guess, would be this move, so maybe we have to play here first. But let's just take the pawn. I don't know. I don't think they have enough compensation to make this worth it. So then, yeah, we have to look for potential checks, which would be this. We can stop that with this. We can also just leave these pieces at home, develop and get castled. I don't know if we would love to castle this way because it's opening, like this has opened up the G file. But maybe, I don't know. I don't love leaving this bishop at home either, but even maybe something like this, I don't know. Okay, let's just develop a knight. This should be fine. I don't see any reason why it's not fine. If here, then like we just don't move this bishop for a bit. We deal with this problem. Can black really generate an attack before he can castle? Yeah, I think that's the issue. I don't think they can. You gotta get this piece out, this piece out, this piece over. Like, move queens in. Like, it's not... It's not easy, and because they captured with the pawn, this took up the square where their knight would like to go. Plus, it isolated these pawns, and as we talked about before, pawns holding hands are better. By which I mean pawns next to each other. I teach kids more than I teach adults, so I say that they're holding hands. But I think that's also a good way to remember it. So now we can go here, we can go here. I'm not seeing an issue with my typical London idea here. Bishop to f4. The other thing this move does is it attacks the c-pawn. And black has really just stunted their development here. So everything they've done has been anti-development. Moving the queen out prevents this bishop from coming forward where it might want to go. Not there, obviously, but like here. So they'll have to like fianchetto or even like go here. Which is fine, but then also the pawn being here prevents the knight from going where it wants to go. This queen also blocks the square for the knight, so the knight is kind of stuck here. It's not a great setup, I'll say. Okay, they went here. What does this move do? It attacks our bishop. We can't defend it, by the way, with this pawn, because if they take, we can't actually take because it would expose our king. That pawn would be pinned. So we can't just take it. Their knight would be on the side of the board. We can also just go here. Then I guess the question is, what if this? But then we just like win the knight and then we're just winning another pawn. So I don't see why this is... I don't see why this is my problem. I guess the question would be, what if here and here, but then we just move the bishop back. So yeah, we don't necessarily need to deal with this, because our original threat was to win this pawn, and I think we're happy to just do that. let's go for it. So yeah, not always good to go pawn hunting for no reason, but free material is also pretty nice. Queen b4. Hits the bishop, kind of forces bishop c1. Oh yeah, that might have been a better idea for them. And then having to move the bishop back. Yeah. Which I suppose we could have also just taken here, and then after takes, just like, I mean, I don't know, deal with this knight being under attack. Okay, we have h4. So usually pushing pawns along the side of the board at the beginning of the game is not a fantastic idea. So we can now do things like this. So we're actually closer, funnily enough, to castling this way, queenside. But we'll have to block this bishop first because you can't castle into check or through check. So this bishop isn't in any danger currently. It's usually not a great idea to just leave pieces off in no man's land, but I mean, we should be able to have a move that will take care of it. So I think maybe this move. It's kind of how I'm thinking. Get our king to safety and then start making some threats. Like we also have things like this, I suppose. But going for the attack when your king is still in the middle of the board is not a fantastic idea. Queen d3 with long castles. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. See, because the queen is on a dark square too, like I'm just considering where can we attack it? Where can we make them regret bringing their queen out so early? And also start threatening mate. Like we could even go like here, threaten some things. Lots of ideas. Knight takes h4. Oh, I didn't even really consider that. I think it probably is playable. See, I always hesitate to take moves like this because there's so many things that just one move would be attacking our knight. Okay. h3. Beautiful move. So our opponent is making the mistake of not developing any of their pieces. So they've pushed their pawn now 1, 2, 3 times. That is 1, 2, like 3 pieces that they could have developed. You know what I mean? Like, there's just not great opening principles. We can take this, but we don't have to. We can wait for them to take us. We can capture like this. And then we can, you know, get down to business. I'm thinking this diagonal is very weak. How can I get my queen there? I can move the knight, or I can just go here and try and get in over here. This also helps with my idea of castling, right? So let's go for this. Knight b5 also looks good, yep. But I'd like to get my king to safety before I start going on the attack. So yeah, there's probably better attacking moves I could have made that are a little bit trickier right off the bat. But I think it's just good to get in the habit of like not necessarily just launching forward gung-ho with the attack. Developing your pieces, getting your king to safety, that will win you more games than not. And you really have to learn the rules before you can break them. Okay, here's this move we were thinking about. So, oh my goodness. Now there's real tactics though. So we have this move. The king can't go here. Wait. What if this, if here, I said here, and like if takes this, Then I have this, and then they have this, and then I have... No, I don't have that move. Dang it. Okay, let's go with this. This seems like the safer option. I can't see it all the way through. I'm gonna be so mad if there's a mate here. So I can swing the rook over. I can also give this check. I don't think it really does anything because they have this move. But we also have this, which might be a fun idea, to swing the rook up and... Oh wait, does this just trap the queen? Oh my gosh, did I just spend like a million years calculating something when I could just trap a queen? Oh. Because it goes backwards. It's funny how you make one move and then you see it. How long? I spent literally 5.5 minutes on that move. When I just could have trapped the queen. But I'm gonna be so mad if there was like a checkmate or something. We'll definitely have to look after the game. I couldn't see it. I felt like there was one move I was missing. And I didn't want to go for something unless I saw it all the way through. Another good lesson to keep in mind. You might be like, oh, this looks, you know, fun. This looks interesting. Surely I have something here. It doesn't always work out that way. As cool as it might look, it doesn't always work. Okay, so we can take the queen. Let's also see now if this move works. They still have this. Yeah, they have that. Let's win a queen. I don't have time to figure out what's happening. Why calculate against a 300? Because I want to play my best chess anyway. So now we can make this move. We can also go here. And this is then a lot stronger because it prevents them from going back. We can also just give a check here right away. And then bring another piece to the party. That seems like a good idea. Let's give the check. We don't actually have mate because this blocks, but we can get rid of that. Hopefully mating on this square. By bringing the bishop out. Oh, or they just allow it. Fair enough. Checkmate. This is an inaccuracy. Yeah, because it allows this. So what do I do after this? Oh, this is actually great for me. What? E4. E4? Okay, but what if queen takes? Oh, then I have ideas of forking here. I see. So you could go knight b5 or knight d5. It doesn't really matter. You're threatening here, and then then there's also this typical idea of like pushing the a-pawn and trying to trap the queen. And now, okay, this is an okay move. I'm curious what they think of this. Okay, this was the best move. It's +9. King f8. Long castles. Whew. Never. I don't know if I would have seen that. Maybe in a classical game or a slightly longer rapid game. But this is smart. This does two things at once. It defends the pawn and it gets our rook into the game, threatening this, which would fork the queen and the king. And it's now protected by the rook, right? So that's the key move that I missed. But if you see the general ideas, but you miss the key idea, then you can't play the line, because a lot of times it's only one move that works, and if you miss that one move, then you might be lost. I'm curious if there were any other good moves here. After this, they also like knight e5. Wow. Knight e5, look at this. F takes e5, and then you give... Oh no. Well, you can give the queen check, but they also like bringing the bishop out to check. Bishop d6. Because the queen now protects. Wow. Again, if it was a longer game, I probably would have sat with it even longer. But even as it was, I took up a third of my time thinking about that move. Which, talking about time management, that was the point where I should have done it, because that was a very, like, critical moment. But what I did was still fine, which was this, just bringing it back, and then, yeah, trapping the queen. Which I missed. I missed my own idea. The bishop goes backwards, too.